The Art and Industry of Business and Living podcast, discussing conscious choices around business, money, life and living, and creating a greater future for you and the planet. Hi everyone, welcome to the Art and Industry of Business and Living. You are with Simone Milasas, your host, and I'm still at home. I'm in Bridgian Beach, leaving soon for Europe, which I'm super excited about. And I am here today in my amazing, beautiful office, which I just love, with Miss Lauren Marie.
Hello, Simone.
Hello, Lauren. Miss. That's pretty funny. Mr. Jaco.
Hello.
Oh my God, I'm all over the place. You've got to see what I'm actually looking at because I just pointed at Percy, but I said Jaco. So, and it's. I swear to God, we haven't been drinking. We're just happy. It's only 10:30 in the morning.
Mr. and Mrs. Jaco.
Mr. and Mrs. Jaco. They just got married recently, so maybe I'm getting a little confused now. They became one. Percy.
Hello, guys. Nice to meet you.
And Mr. Mark.
Good morning, all.
Hi, guys. So, what are we here to talk about? We're here to talk about happiness. Actually, I was just showing I don't know if I should tell this story, but I've already launched into it. I was showing my 13-year-old son the other day. There was, I don't know how I saw the video. I think it's a friend of a friend. And she's got a little kid. I think she's like 3 or something. And she's saying happiness, but she's not saying happiness. She goes, happy penis. And then they go, no, happiness. And she goes, happy penis. It's so cute because she's looking at them like, I don't get it. Why do you want me to change the way I'm saying it? Maybe a happy penis is happiness.
It
you know?
It is. Boom, boom.
Boom, boom. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye. That's it. No. So why are we talking about happiness? Well, you know what? You should wake up every day happy. That's my aim. That's my, target. That's my ask is that you be happy every single day. And I remember at one stage, Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, said to me, I was being cranky about something and complaining, being a girl basically, and I'm not allowed to say that because I am a girl. And he said to me, you know what, you need to get happy and stay there. And I was like, that's brilliant. Actually, that could be one of our new T-shirts. Yes. Get happy and stay there. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how it happens right here. On the middle of a podcast, you start creating. So I brought these lovely people here today. I wanted to ask them a few quick questions about happiness. And one of the first questions I wanted to ask is, what do you think makes you happy? Purposely asking the question like that. And you guys out there listening as well, it's like, have a look at it. What do you think makes you happy? Any of you guys can jump in if you like.
For me, it is about the joy of living and being able to create different things for myself. So if I wake up in the morning, I need to have that motivation of, hey, let's smile and let's be happy. And it just changed the whole energy of the day. So,
which you are like that. I mean, we one of the things that you guys work with us a lot is expos and events. And I've noticed that, especially at events, because I work more closely with you, the people at the resort or wherever we go always go, oh, I love working with Percy and Jaco. They're just always so happy and things are so easy. So I guess that's what that also creates is more ease.
It also creates happy people around you. If I wake up cranky and I don't change it, my whole day will be terrible because
I just send him back to bed.
Because he will start mirroring that behavior or that mood or that, somber feeling. And so it's just easier to be happy.
One of the things that I do want to mention though too is because you do live together, you're married, and when I was in a relationship with Brendan Watt, I remember at one point he was doing this sad, depressed moment, lying on the couch, drinking beer, not doing much. And we've got this great story that, because I wake up and I'm so creative in the mornings, it's like, let's go, And he said to me after 3 days, will you stop being so happy? And I looked at him and I went, no. And he goes, do you know how hard it is to be, depressed and upset when someone's walking around happy? And we both started laughing because of the insanity that was.
Yeah.
But I will say what I was grateful for that we created is I wasn't diminishing my happiness based on him, but I was also in allowance of him choosing to be, funky, cranky, depressed, whatever, because I knew it wasn't real, that was a choice he was choosing. So I get that it's all just a choice too. I mean, happiness is just a choice.
.com.
Check it out. Oh, yeah, let me do that again. Happiness is just a choice.
.com.
There you go. That's our really bad advertising. Mark?
Happiness for me, I suppose, it's just running with the fun things nowadays. Like today's just been a perfect example. Got up and had the pleasure of joining a few gentlemen and a lovely lady on a podcast earlier. Return of the Gentleman coming soon. Check it out. And then caught up with a friend and went and did something cool like climbing Mount Coolum and just getting outside, and everything's just been really light. And I suppose when everything's light, to me, it just...
Okay, can you explain a little bit more to the listeners when you say light? What does that mean?
So a heaviness is like a lie, and a lightness is like a truth or a fun. So sometimes you get those decisions. Do you want to go such and such? You're like, I don't really want to go. It feels really heavy, but I feel obligated to my friends, my family, blah, blah, blah. I better go. Like, you really don't want to go, and it's not fun. And other times, Jaco and Percy will ring up and say, hey, we're at the surf club. Do you want to come down? And it's like, yes.
But that's Jaco and Percy.
That's right. That's right. And it's not even a think. It's not even a hesitation.
It's spontaneous.
It's a spontaneous light. And that's sort of what this morning's been. And it's just been light, and it's just been fun.
Like in the way I would describe that too is like a sense of following the energy. It's just like, this. And it's like you keep choosing. And I think that's the main key thing here too is choice is a happiness, and everything you choose will create how your day is. Like, you guys were talking about Percy and Jaco, if you're waking up cranky or angry or stuff like that. And it's like, that's a choice too. It's like, if you're going to be angry, it's like, choose it. Like, do it well. Enjoy it. If you're going to be frustrated and angry, it's like, have a good time and then go, all right, I'm done. That's too much friggin' effort. Let's choose something different.
Lauren can be happy every morning with those two twins.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because my two twins.
One set of twins.
Yeah, one set of two. Yeah, 3.5-year-olds. And the one, Preston, he really is happy. Like, well, they're both very happy. But his natural state, like, he's just a happy boy. And he does this thing where he puts on this sad act. And this morning he was just moping around. And we were like, but it was just, you could tell he didn't even really believe that it was true. So I'm like looking at him and just looking at him the right way. He would he'd smile, but try not to smile. Mm-hmm. I'm like, gosh, how much is that? Like, that's how I really am too when I'm not happy. But I'm really happy. But I'm putting it on almost like a...
It's almost like you've got to try it on. Try on this sort of bit of depression. Well, other people are doing it, so there must be something good about it, huh?
Well, I realized it was, and I said, is it yours? Because there's someone at our house right now who I think he might have, like, tried to take it out of. And he's like, yes. And I'm like, really? And then he starts cracking up laughing. And I'm like, that's you. But I realized how much, like, we'd start buying that other thing that's not the happy us over time and over the years. Like, now it's so clear to him. He's just like, oh, okay, never mind. And he just starts cracking up.
So you mentioned, is it yours? It's like, that's one of my favorite tools. Is it yours and who does it belong to? Can you talk a little bit about that?
So if you ask, okay, like you're not, quote, feeling happy, you're like, I'm feeling sad. And you ask the question, is this even mine? And it lightens up at all, or it gets less, or it goes away totally, it means it wasn't yours. You don't have to figure out who it was or who it belongs to, but it's just not yours, so you send it back.
Yeah. Great. I love it. And I remember we actually have stickers available called Happiness is Just a Choice on the .com site. And, I mean, I have a 13-year-old son. I remember at one time he was being cranky and not being him. That's the thing. It's like when you're not being you, that's generally when you do choose things like, I mean, there's certain times that you might choose anger because someone's lied to you, etc. But if that like mopey, depressed, sadness, etc., it's not you being you. And he was being like that, obviously, young boy. And he had this sticker on his bed, happiness is just a choice. And I went, hey, Nash, what does that say? And he was like, happiness is just a choice. And I was like, all right then. And just walked out of his room because he's the one who said it. He's the one that put the sticker up. And he actually has a choice. It's like you can't make someone happy. They've actually got to choose it.
And the thing you said, Percy, about I just send him back to bed when Jaco is grumpy. We actually do this with our kids. Like when they're really, well, not with Jaco.
I feel like one of your kids.
We do. But we say, hey, if you can't be happy, go to your room and come back when you're happy. And we've done that. And then mostly Ayla likes to pout longer, but Preston will just come out a few minutes later with a big smile on his face. And we're like, are you happy now? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But he really goes to his room until he gets happy, and then he comes out, and you just see how much it is a choice.
He chose something different.
Yeah.
So another question I'd like to ask you guys too is, what's the happiest moment you can remember in your life? What's the first thing that comes up besides sitting here doing a podcast in my office? Anyone?
I got once for Christmas
a
huge truck that I really wanted.
Yeah.
A truck. A toy truck,
not
a real one. But because I had a suspicion that was what it was, because it was really big, this Christmas present, and when I tore the paper off it and I saw the yellow and the yellow and the red, I was just like over the moon.
Yeah.
I still have it somewhere.
The truck?
The truck.
Nice, I love it. So how do you make Jaco happy? Get him a truck. But anyone else got a moment that they can recall?
I'm still thinking.
Okay. Because the interesting thing is, it's like, how many of you have like some sort of memory or something you remember of when you were younger? And it's like, when we're so young, like you talk about Preston, Lauren, and how happy he is. He just wakes up happy. And it's like, when did that stop? Like, when did you stop, having that place where you had to get it right? And it's like, or, time came into it. Because as soon as you started talking about Preston, I went, the one thing I always notice about Preston is time is irrelevant. Like, he has no concept of it in the sense of, like, now is now. And most kids, I remember I used to pick Nash up from school and I'd say to him, how was your day? And he'd look at me like, well, yeah, but that was
what
before. Yeah, like, why are we talking about what happened today?
Right now?
Yeah, right
or
now.
About to do?
Exactly.
Or if they're watching the iPad, then it's just they want 10 more minutes. They have no idea what 10
more minutes is. They've heard it from you guys.
But they just, Preston goes, minutes.
Right.
Just minutes. Like, he needs more minutes. All he knows is that means he stays on the iPad.
Right.
That's as far as they got with time so far.
I love it. So the other question I had too is, do you guys have any tools, processes? You can use anything you want here of, as we spoke about before, it's like when you don't wake up happy, it's like, what do you choose and what are some of the tools or processes, etc., that you can use to change that?
I think we covered, Lauren covered the very good one, like, who does it belong to?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or, because...
You've got to come up with a different tool.
Yeah. And for me, it's like... for me...
no pressure.
I love using All of Life Comes to Me with Ease, Joy and Glory.
Yeah, that's a favourite of mine too.
That's one of my favourite ones, and I really use it in the evening before I go to bed, and in the morning when I wake up, I'm like, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. And it's actually a funny situation, because sometimes when I struggle to sleep, I just repeat it in my head the whole time, and then the next morning I wake up and I'm like, oh, I fell asleep. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory.
Nice.
And that's one tool that is very helpful.
Do you have another one? You sound like you're about to go into another one.
No,
You're allowed to have more than one.
I'll give the other people,
a chance.
Yeah.
So all of life comes to me, these joy and glory, is actually the mantra of Access Consciousness. And, use it anywhere and everywhere.
I like what grand and glorious.
You sound like, I like pizza. Like,
I like pizza and I like chocolate.
Make you happy.
What grand and glorious adventures await for me today?
So every morning you're asking, who am I today and what grand and glorious adventures can I have today? Yeah.
Totally. That pinged with me this morning, actually.
Nice. Cool.
So,
and you're already, it's 10:30 or it's 10:50 and you're already on it.
Podcast, climb a mountain. No?
What else?
Someone send me to Maroon. That's a happy place too.
What else is possible now?
Oh, Mark. When I went to the interview that Nash had at his boarding school before he went, we're sitting down and he's nervous and, he's meeting with the boarding master and stuff. And so the guy went, look, we're just going to have a casual conversation and, talk about a few things. And he was trying to make Nash feel really relaxed. And he looks at him and he goes, so tell me some of the things that you like. And Nash looked at him just with this frozen look on his face and went, I like pizza. And he goes, he was so sweet though, this man. He goes, yeah. He said, don't we all? He said, we all love pizza. And he goes, but maybe what's some of your favourite subjects at school? It was so cute. It was like the first thing you can think of, pizza.
Always the safe answer.
Exactly, yeah, just pizza. So that's it. That's the word for today, pizza. It's going to get you out of everything. So Jaco, what's some of the tools that you would use?
So for me, if
you could blame Percy and say, you've made me unhappy.
Angry,
I'm just kidding.
In order to change it,
He normally says, honey, you're not wrong. I am. And that helps. That makes me happy.
Pizza.
Safety word.
So just really asking any question is a start in changing anything for me. Like if I woke up and I'm not myself,
Yeah.
I would start asking, what is this? Can I change it? How can I change it? Who does it belong to? Just any questions really, because when you ask a question, that's when you change the energy of anything.
So a few of you have mentioned, and including myself, talking about being yourself and being you. It's like, any of you guys want to talk a little bit more about how you see that? Because I can see there's people out there listening going, what the hell? What do you mean being you? It's like, I'm trying to fit into everything else. I'm trying to, match everything else. I'm trying to be like everyone else, rather than the alternative is being you, which is a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah. I think we pick up on so many of other people's stuff that we're not really aware of how psychic we really are. And it could be the neighbor, it could be whoever is tapping into your energy too. And understanding what emotions, feelings, and whatever belongs to you, it's truly yours. Once you realize that you're being yourself, it's easy to establish whether you're picking up on someone else's energy, and it's easy then to return it to them.
Yeah, I mean, I can think of, recently I was in Romania, as one does, and I was doing a class in Romania, and a friend of all of ours, Francesca,
It's a nice.
she's Italian. Anyway, so we're in Romania, and we're having lunch, and we're having this conversation, and she's just talking about how wrong she is, and then I started going to the wrongness of me, and then we went, hang on, whoa, and it was like, where are we? And we were like, okay, we're in Romania, and it's like most of the Romanians have gone to the wrongness of themselves, but we literally were there and started embodying it. And then the next place that we went to was Warsaw, Poland, and we were smart enough. This time we both woke up in the morning and we were talking about it, and I was like, my God, the energy here is intense, of this huge level of sadness. And I spoke to Francesca and I was like, okay, how you doing? Because the level of sadness that everyone was buying into, that you must be sad being in Poland, was so extreme that it was that you almost felt like buying into it. And then I was like, hang on. And so I was literally like, okay, having a shower, brushing my teeth, getting ready, going, like almost like breathing it out and going, all right, this is not mine. I'm not buying into this. I'm going to create something different here. And the thing that I see is when you're being you, it's like you are happy. You have a sense of joy. And happiness doesn't mean that you have to laugh hysterically all the time. There's a sense of joy. And you actually become such an invitation for every single person around you to be more of them. So any of you guys got anything else you want to add? Another tool you've got?
Well, just reminds me how Dr. Dane here talks about it, like you're swimming in carrot soup for so long, you start getting orange and looking like a carrot, but you're not actually a carrot, but you start thinking you are. And it's like, the thing with you in Poland and in Romania, you start turning into a carrot almost, but you're not.
Yeah.
So what I started doing is writing down things that...
I am not a carrot. I'm not a carrot. I'm not a carrot.
Pizza.
Pizza, not carrot. Is writing...
That's a joke. We should get t-shirts. I am not a carrot.
Hashtag not poor, hashtag not carrot. So, you're writing down that suggestion?
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you know how you get those things like in banks when they go, ask me about saving money or something. They've got a t-shirt on. Ask me about not being a carrot. Anyway.
So there's certain things that I will do that bring me a sense of lightness or joy, like swimming in the ocean. I notice whenever I go for a swim in the ocean, like my husband's always laughing at me because I act like a 5-year-old. I'm just like, wee! Like I get scared of the waves, and I'm like, I'm just silly, and that's like so much more of me.
Yeah.
Than when I get into this like other thing. So I write that down, like go for a swim in the ocean. Like once I was just in this funk and I couldn't seem to get out of it, and I was like, it was Sunday morning, really early, shops weren't even open, like. I don't know, I could have gone for a swim in the ocean, but, so I was like, what can I do? And for some reason, I was like, I just need to create something. Like, I need to act, and creation for me is always joyful. So I just got in the car and I started driving, and I went to a garage sale. And on the way to the garage sale, I went for a drive through a place I hadn't been before. It was this really beautiful overlook. And just going through there and imagining, because we're also looking at, like, where we want to live and buy a house, it was just a creative energy, like sort of looking at creating a different future, where I want to live, and going to a garage sale, looking at stuff to buy. It was just silly stuff, you know, but it completely changed the energy because I started going into creation, not into this like funk, this carrot soup funk.
I'm not a carrot. I like that too, because for me, creation definitely makes me happy. It's like, and I know I'm one of the most creative people I know, and there's a lot of creative people sitting here in this room, and it's like, so get out there and create, and it's like, create anything.
I mean, even just making a new dish, experimenting with food, with ingredients, that's also creation. So sometimes when I really get stuck at my computer and I'm like, you know, when I bash my head against the wall, kind of, with all these emails.
You're not using the right tools.
I'm like, I need to get out of my little office and do something, but still create something. Then I'll make the weirdest concoctions, which is always a pleasure to eat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not for me. I rang Lauren last night and I was like, okay, I can't cook.
She goes, I made fish.
It was fine. It was edible because the fish was good, but I didn't really cook it that well. I was like, can you bake those things for me again? So she was up this morning baking for me. I love her.
It was just a fish.
That's what friends are for. I can do a good salad and I can do a good platter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's about it. That's what makes me happy.
There's always pizza.
There's always pizza. That's true. So, so my suggestion too is one of the tools is find something that makes you happy, not necessarily making somebody else happy. I mean, it is interesting when you talk about when you hang out with friends, family, you know, relationship. Like Mark, you were mentioning earlier, like the obligation of having to do things. It's like if you weren't obligated, what would you choose, and what would truly make you happy, and how many times do you think that you have to do something with somebody else to make you happy? I mean, Jaco, it's like you go and make that meal and it's like, yes, you're making it, you know, and Percy can eat it, but you don't have to do it together. It's like really tap into that moment of what makes you happy and go and find that like today. And one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast on happiness is because the 20th of March is World Happiness Day. I mean, truthfully, World Happiness Day should exist every day. And what I'm doing this month of March is actually doing a whole bunch of podcasts on happiness. I've got one with Gary Douglas coming up, the founder of Access Consciousness. And I'm not sure what else I'm doing yet, but it's probably going to be around, oh my goodness, really? Happiness in business and with money? That would be a fun topic.
Yeah. You mean the joy of business?
You mean the joy of business? Yeah, that sounds good. So find something that makes you happy and choose that, no matter what it is. It could be anything. I mean, the funny thing is, you know, Jaco mentions about, you know, being stuck down your computer and stuff. And I'm, you know, always doing different things. But there's some things like, and this is, you're still allowed to be friends with me after I say this, okay? I'm geeking out on you. But it's like, to me, when I just need to like chill out and relax, you know what makes me really happy? And some of you are going to know this. Yes.
I knew it.
She got it. She guessed it.
Google Doc.
A Google Doc.
Yeah.
A Google Doc. And making it look neat and tidy. I'm like, it just makes me happy. I'm like, okay, this is all centered. This is bolded. This is really clear. This is good. Now I can create. I know.
Some
Neighbours must complain all the time when you get a little bit crazy.
No, they haven't even complained when we've had the create meeting at Simone's house. This is a 10:30 morning podcast. We didn't do it later today because I can't say what goes on. Maybe a bit of Cher, maybe a bit of
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, some champagne. Tina Turner. We like to create. So anything else you guys want to leave the listeners with? Any last tools that's coming up in your head, questions, anything?
I suppose with the being you thing, it's mentioned a lot. And I know when I first got involved with Access and doing bars and that, it was always mentioned. And I didn't really get it still. It's the sort of thing, I suppose, where judgment, when you take that out of you, we talk about doing things which are fun, and bring you joy. Mm-hmm. As weird as you may think it is, but still find it fun, just do it.
So like Google Docs.
Totally.
So you're not judging me now.
Like if everyone judges you that you're an absolute weirdo because you enjoy Google Docs, who cares?
I love that Lauren guessed it.
I knew it.
But I love that, yeah, take the judgment out. And,
Totally.
And I'm also going to recommend Dr. Dane Heer's book, Being You, Changing the World. And it's like it's on audio and it's
available
also
in Russian now too.
It's available in Russian. It's available. So if you're speaking Russian and you're wondering what we're talking about, I don't know
the
how to
book.
say that. Get the book, yeah. And you can also go, there's Being You facilitators. Lauren's actually a Being You facilitator.
True story.
Yeah, true story. What's the website?
beingyouadventures.com for the Being You facilitators and beingyouchangingtheworld.com for the book.
Awesome.
Or Being You book.
And what I would highly recommend, especially in the month of March, but any day really, is get your bars run.
Yes.
That will make you happy.
Yes.
It's like the one tool that actually I realised none of us mentioned. It's like when you are feeling funky or weird or anything, it's like, can someone run my bars? It's like, God, even 20 minutes on the implant band is amazing.
But it's like saying, don't forget to breathe air. Like,
Yeah.
we just forgot because it's just,
It's just there. We do it.
Like, you
Yeah.
have to get your
Yeah.
bars run.
So you can find some bars facilitators on the accessconsciousness.com website. I highly recommend going to a bars class because you get to run bars twice, receive bars twice, you watch a really cool DVD, you get a manual, you get a whole bunch more tools, etc. too. You can even become a practitioner, So get your bars run. So anything else you guys want to mention? We're going to mention the happinessisjustachoice.com website, which there's a bunch of the people in here actually run the happinessisjustachoice.com. And there's a bunch of product on there too. We've got some really cool hats, which we might take some photos and load this up on the social media with that. The Happiness is just a choice. Say it really fast. happinessisjustachoice.com hats. We've got, what else have we got, Mark?
Water bottles.
Water bottles.
Water bottles. Yeah, we've got
Books.
some books.
So they're not just a water bottle. You could fill them with champagne.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
So it's a bottle.
They're
to
nice
fill with
glass
liquid.
glass. They're
bottles.
really,
glass.
It's
really
a glass
good product.
bottle.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously, we've got some shirts on there as well. We're in the midst of bringing out a few more designs or phrases. At the moment, obviously, happinessisjustachoice.com. And another one which has always been a huge seller all over the world is your not as fucked up
You
as
can
you
say
think
it.
we can. You're not as fucked up as you think you are. Boom.
That's it.
And hashtag I'm not a carrot.
That's coming soon. And Jaco and Percy, you've got a story that happened last night. You were actually wearing one of the T-shirts called hashtag not poor, which brings up a whole lot of stuff
Yeah.
for people.
Love
What
it.
happened last night?
So people ask you, ask us when we wear this, what does it represent? What does it mean? Or what is it about? And
You're
I
like,
always-
it's pretty simple.
It's pretty simple. For me, it's easier to say hashtag not poor instead of trying to make people understand that I'm rich or I have a lot of money. So there's a different way of looking at it for each person. So this guy specifically was looking at my T-shirt and he's like, take it off. I want it. He made me change my shirt and exchange with him. I've got his, I don't know, Primark T-shirt at home. And he's got my hashtag not poor T-shirt.
I like the way you say he made me. Like Jaco's not like this weak, pale man. It's like, oh my God, he made me take off my shirt. It's like, I think there might be a little bit more behind the story than what he's giving out.
Probably
But that's the
already off
that's the
dancing on a
synopsis.
podium.
Yeah, that's the summary.
I must just confess that they didn't just swap shirts. There was like 10 minutes of no shirts.
Oh.
There was first a photo shoot to make Jaco happy.
A photo shoot, see? So the story lengthens.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, so go check out happinessisjustachoice.com and there's more and more merchandise coming on that. It's not just merchandise either, though. We have some really cool stories and
Just if you can go there any day to get a little pick me up. We have happy people stories. We have videos of what do you do when you need want to get happy. Like everyone's.
you go to a
tips.
bar, spend 10 minutes without a shirt on and swap
That sort of
clothes.
thing.
Eat
Yeah.
pizza.
Eat pizza.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So there's a Facebook page as well.
And Instagram too, right?
Yeah.
We're all over the show.
Okay, and the Instagram name is just happinessisjustachoice.com. That's how. Okay, cool, awesome. All right, well, thank you very much. And all of these guys are actually Access Consciousness facilitators as well. So you can find all of them on accessconsciousness.com. And some of them do a few other things. You've got Mark, who also does Return of the Gentleman Club, which he will be on a podcast with me coming up in a few weeks. And you've got Miss Lauren Marie, who's one of my favourites on my podcast show. She's a Joy of Business facilitator, Being You facilitator, entrepreneur, amazing, and she bakes really well. And many other things. And anything else you guys want to add, say, people where they can find you, do anything? Find you at the bar?
On the website. Go on the website and remember, happiness is just a choice, so you choose.
Nice. I like that. All right. Thank you so much for joining me here, guys.
Thanks so much.
Tomorrow.